Mic testing 1 2 3. Hello, 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 and once again, welcome to another live stream of SYWK podcast. My name is Desmond, and you are going to watch another live stream where I'm going to narrate a couple of horror stories. If you would like to join in and share your experiences, then feel free. The link is there in the description. Please click the link and share your stories. So currently, I have one, two, three, four stories. It is new stories which I have got, and the best place to find a story on the internet, at least if you want to read a story, you need to go to this website called as yourghoststories.com. People all over the world submit their stories, and the website is very easy to access. The stories are categorized by country, and it is really amazing. So most of my stories which I narrate on my live streams as well as on my episodes, I narrate it from the website. So let's begin with tonight's live stream. For people who are there on Instagram, I would like to keep you informed. I'm mainly live on YouTube, so do join me on my YouTube channel. Secondly, I would like to tell everyone once again that my channel is only for entertainment. Whatever stories I narrate, or if you guys come and tell me a story, I would listen and I would enjoy the story as a fan of horror and only for entertainment purpose. We do not promote blind faith, we do not promote superstition. So this channel is all about having fun, but yes, for people who enjoy horror stuff, horror content, it is a channel where you will get everything related to the paranormal. I do my horror lives, I narrate episodes, I do movie reviews, I interview guests, especially the horror authors, people from the horror community. I interview them as well. So, a lot of people from the horror community, I interact with all of them. And you guys, you are the people who are watching, are the main people, are the main community, to be honest, who will encourage a small YouTuber like me to grow. And that's all I want right now. It's been 3 years I have started my YouTube journey. And I am growing slowly and steadily. But right now, all I can ask you guys is to support me in terms of reaching 10k subscribers by end of 2023. So if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That's all I can say. Now moving ahead, let us begin with the live stream. So I have a couple of stories, and also I going to discuss a few haunted places in Dubai. So people who are watching from Dubai, stay tuned, and people who are also not watching from Dubai and who would like to know the haunted places, especially the haunted houses in Dubai, I found an interesting article this evening, and I am going to discuss and see what are the haunted places in Dubai. So stick till the end because I'm going to share some haunted places in Dubai. Now moving ahead, let see let me see what is the story I have right now, which I can narrate for you guys. Okay, I have a story. As I said, the most of the stories are from the website called as yourghostories.com. So I have a story, and the story title is, sorry, the title is The Chair. Okay, so background sound is perfect. I hope you guys can hear me. The microphone is fine. So let me narrate the story called as The Chair. When my sister, Bestie, and I were kids, our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. We loved exploring its dusty corners and climbing the apple tree in the backyard. But our favorite thing was the ghost. Yes, a ghost which we called her mother, because she seemed so kind and nurturing. Some morning, Bestie and I would wake up, and on each of our nightstands, we would have found a cup that hadn't been there the night before. Mother had left them there, worried that we might have got thirsty during the night. She just wanted to take care of us. Among the home's original furnishing was an antique wooden chair which we kept against the back wall of the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied watching TV or playing a game, Mother would inch that chair forward, across the room towards us. Sometimes she managed to move it all the way to the center of the room. We always felt sad putting it back against the wall, but Mother just wanted to be near us. Years later, long after we moved out, I found an old newspaper article about the farmhouse original occupant, a widow. She murdered her two children by giving them each a cup of poisoned milk before bed. Then she hung herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse living room with a woman's body hanging from a beam. Beneath, knocked over, was the old wooden chair placed exactly in the center of the room. And that was the story called The Chair. The story called The Chair. So that was the story, what I narrated from the website yourghoststories.com. It is a short story but quite creepy. Can you imagine that your childhood was a lie when you felt that there was someone who was helping you, but eventually you realize years later that it was a ghost? Isn't that quite creepy? Indeed, it is. It is quite creepy. Hani Pasha is there. Yeah, Hani, I hope you're doing fine. Hani is a regular member on the channel and he never fails to show up. So thank you, Hani, for joining in again. But I would really appreciate if you would come in the studio and at least say hi. I know you don't have a story to share, or maybe you have a story to share. Who knows? But it's been 2 years I'm doing my live streams, and Hani has been joining from since then, but he has never showed up on the live stream. I mean, he has never showed up inside the studio where he can join and every one of you guys can see him or hear him at least. So it is quite creepy that Hani has never joined in. Anyways, moving forward, what we are going to do right now is we are going to go to the top 5 haunted places in Dubai. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to narrate a story, then I am going to the article where I'm going to share the backstory of the haunted places in Dubai. So, I have 5 stories and 5 haunted places. So, I narrated a story just now. Now, I will talk about the top haunted places or top haunted place in Dubai. So we will go in that way. Before we go, Priyanka is a hey Priyanka, what's up? Hi Priyanka, how's things? I hope you're fine. It's been long that you haven't been active on the SYWK podcast. Where have you been, my friend? Please, join in if you would like to join in, and if you don't like to join in, then you better watch. Oh, she has joined in. Oh my god. It's quite strange that Pre has joined in. So I'll just get Pre in. So after Pre leaving, then we will continue with the horror story. So Pre, I'm getting you in 3, 2, and 1.
Hello, hello, Desmond. How are you, my friend?
I am fine. How are you? I guess you're not at home.
How do you know?
I am a
How do
ghost.
you know?
I
Some
can see your
spirit is telling
location.
you. No,
Yes.
shut up. My video is off.
I can see your location. I can see what you're wearing. I can see where you're walking as well.
Are you serious? Is my camera on?
Yes, camera is on.
No.
No, no, no. It's not on, but I came to know. Oh my god, she got so scared that she left the stream. Unbelievable. Can you imagine she just left the stream? What the hell? I think so. She'll join back by mistake. She got disconnected. But that's how the live stream is, guys. It's a very chilled out live stream. If you want to actually hear something scary, then you should consume my episodes. Live streams are more of fun talking to people. So getting Pre in 3, 2, and 1.
So sorry. I
No
think it
problem.
threw me out.
No, you yourself went out.
No, I was checking the video and I think the call dropped.
So how are you? How's things?
I'm doing good. I thought I will come and say hi to you because it's been long. I don't know if
Yes.
you were talking about that whilst I was trying to get online.
Yes, yes. It's been
So
long
I
since
will,
Priyanka has
yeah.
joined in.
So I can stick around with you for a few minutes, entertain you, and then I'll take my exit.
Why not? Why
How about
not?
that?
Yes, please
Great.
feel free to be there. So I was going to discuss about some top 5 haunted places in Dubai. I found an article. So I will be discussing about that. But before that, I would like to ask Priyanka, have you seen the movie Nun Part 2? And have you
No, not
enjoyed it?
yet. I haven't seen the
Okay.
movie yet, but then I saw your review and I was wondering how come you didn't like it. And you compared it to what, 1902? The Hindi movie?
Yes. Because I told everyone in my review that, in Nun Part 2, I took 20 minutes to fall asleep. But in 1920, The Horrors of the Heart, which released this year itself, it took me 45 minutes to sleep. So, indirectly, both the movies are bad.
So bad.
Yeah. And Nun 2, actually, the thing is, if everyone who is watching, if they know that the Nun and the Nun 2 is from the Conjuring universe, and it is taking the story ahead in the universe, but the way the movie has been directed, in the sense it's extremely slow. There are some Hollywood movies where it starts slow and then it builds up, but this movie was something quite
That's
extremely
the
slow.
reason why I have delayed watching The Nun. I said, okay, I will sit and watch it aram se, and then maybe I could discuss it with you. But then I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
it's
okay,
not
maybe it's really
bad.
not nice.
It's
Worth
not
watching
bad,
once at
but
least.
yeah, you need to watch it so that you can understand what's going to happen next. Because if you compare the Conjuring movies, especially the Conjuring Part 1,
Yeah.
the reality is shown, in the sense it's more realistic. But then even the Nun 1 was something which I could not believe. And
Maybe,
Nun 2.
I don't know, maybe this is my personal opinion. The reason why we are not able to connect or have that particular impact with Nun is because it's more of a frictional thing. But when we see Conjuring, these were the
Hmm,
actual cases that Ed and Lorraine had,
yeah,
and their
maybe.
actual experiences, and then they could take into account of those people who experienced it, and you know they
Yeah.
emphasize that even more, and that's why we are able to enjoy that more.
I
This is what
feel
I
so.
think.
Maybe, yeah, maybe the story. Whenever horror movie, especially, mention that it is inspired by true events or something, then we do get more connected and we feel it more realistic as compared to a made up thing. Because none actually is just a made up thing. It's not something real.
Yeah, they just took the one part of Valak, the
Hmm.
spirit that had scared Lorraine a lot, which they'd shown in the first Conjuring, right?
Yeah. Correct.
And then from that one point, they have made it a whole different series.
Hmm.
So maybe that's why we are not getting that exact connect. But all in all, I enjoy the whole series, like the Insidious, the Conjuring, the Nun, and
Hmm.
how they have intertwined everything, and they're able to go back and forth from iske 20 saal pehle, 10 saal baad, you know, the way
Yeah.
they're doing it is very nice.
Hmm. But have you seen the first part, Nun Part 1? Have you seen that?
Yes, a couple of times.
And you seen the ending? Did you enjoy the ending? Like, how did they, like, get rid of the ghost or the nun? Did
Yeah,
you actually like it?
I saw it was very interesting, to be able to find the blood of Christ,
Hmm.
which he used to kill Balak. But
Hmm.
the twist and the most shocking thing for me was, like, even after that, Balak still had one of its demons put into that guy who eventually came in the future, and he was the same guy who
Correct.
uh,
The
affected
Ed and
Lorraine.
Lauren were, yeah,
Yeah,
they were
he affected Lauren,
investigating.
and she had a glimpse there. So I
Hmm.
was like, shit, this is like crazy.
So the same
Like,
guy
when
is
we
there
thought
in part 2
everything
as
was done.
well.
So
Yeah.
this is before or after Wala Nun?
This is
The
after the
Nun
it's
2.
after the second part, after the first part. Like the guy. Uh, it's just a
So okay, the
continuation of
second,
his story in the second part.
it's a continuation of his story and how he was possessed
Yes.
and didn't realize it, or it kept
Yes.
on escalating until he eventually met Ed and Lorraine.
Yeah. Eventually, it
Because in
reaches
Conjuring, we just saw a recap
glimpse.
that
Yeah.
we had so and so
Hmm.
person from so and so French village or Romanian village.
Hmm.
We just knew like a short brief, but maybe this Nun 2 is the whole elaboration of that.
Yeah. That's it. Anyways, by the way, you have watched any other interesting horror movie or web series or something
These days,
of
I'm
lately?
watching a lot of Korean horror,
My
which
God.
is nice. Which is nice. It's so different from what we are used to.
But is
So
this something like a
I like
zombie
that.
kind of horror or like?
No, proper horror series are there,
Hmm.
and zombie ones also I saw. The worst one I saw was this Japanese zombie movie
Hmm.
that was really bad. And their zombie movies also okay, but the reaction of the people is lame, you know.
Oh.
Like unlike Americans, it's like what? Oh, zombie, shoot the head, you know,
Hmm.
splatter the brains and all that. Over here, they're shooting at the body and all. So that is what I feel lame. But their ghost
So
series
is
also very nice.
so is it worth watching?
Yes, I enjoyed it. I will share you the list that I liked, and in your
Hmm.
spare time you can watch. But you will need to concentrate because it's all Korean, and you'll have to read the subtitles. You don't have so much time.
Oh my God! So it's not dubbed in
No, it's
English.
not dubbed in English. Yeah, because I know you're so
Hmm.
busy, you will not be able to play it in the background and hear it and carry on with your work. You'll actually have to
Hmm. You
sit and
have
focus
to
to read. Yeah.
read the subtitles. Interesting. By the way, Hani Pasha has joined in, but it's a mystery that even though he joins in, he never says anything. In our last live
Call
stream,
him.
it's
He's still a ghost entity for us. We don't know if he really
yes.
exists. He only texts, maybe like a chat box or an AI ghost.
I feel so
Let's
because
hear
even in
him.
our last live stream, we were discussing the same thing, that is Hani really there or he
Is
died
he a
maybe
real
20
human?
years before. You never know.
Yeah.
It's quite
Honey,
creepy.
it sounds like I'm actually calling him Honey. Honey Pasha.
Hani Pasha.
Say something.
It, it if he says something now, I'm going to end the stream. I'm telling you. Like I will be done. I will end
You'll be
YouTube.
shocked.
Yeah,
You'll be shocked.
it will be the
Honey
most
Pasha, say
trending video.
something. Let us hear your voice. You're the most mysterious man on this platform for us.
He is not going to say that. I am confident in that. Anyways, I have a story. Let me narrate the story.
Yeah, let's dive
Uh,
into your Dubai ghost stories. Are these new locations from what you have discussed previously?
uh, oh my God, Hani just put on his microphone. That's
It echoed.
creepy. And I heard my own voice. Now he's making me scared right now. I don't know why. He's just creeping me out. Okay. Shit. Pri, I am actually scared right now on the live stream.
I'm there with you, Des. Don't worry. I'm here for
bec-
your moral support. You
because of
continue
what
with your
Hani is doing.
you continue with your Dubai stories. I'm here.
1 minute. So Dubai, basically, there are top five haunted places. I found an article. I will do that later, but I have a story from the website called as yourghoststories.com, and the title is Pune's haunted building. So since you're there, I thought let me narrate this story. It's not exactly near Pune, but let me narrate it
So we're
so that
outskirts of Pune.
Yeah,
Let's
somewhere
go.
outskirts of. Okay,
Let's
so I'll
go.
be
Let's go.
narrating the story. Here's another experience of ours that shook us to the core. This is a case of a localite on the outskirts of Pune that we investigated in January 2023. We were contacted by the owner of the land where he tried to construct a guest house but could not because of a presence of a jinn. Upon reaching the site, I felt heaviness in the atmosphere. My experience alerted me that this visit wouldn't be an easy night. This property was vast across the land with two half building under constructed. There were no signs of life in them, just half done with empty structure. As we started exploring, we heard a mix of voices as if the farm had come to life. We could hear a woman scream, children playing, and even donkeys making noise. Although the whole area was soaked in darkness with no signs of humanity, we decided to enter the building A. That was there was nothing suspicious at first, but we kept hearing banging doors on the upper floor. Checking them resulted in nothing. Later on, we saw a whitish figure on the opposite building hallway. From a distance, it was wearing a white robe like the Arabs. Focusing through the camera clarified that it was walking backward and a bit like a penguin. We rushed to check what was it. As we reached, there was nothing, and the same figure was sighted at the hallway of the other building now. Trust me, it was frightening and confusing at the same time. We sat for a while to get back to our senses after what we witnessed. As we were approaching the building A, the figure was seen on the terrace and then suddenly it vanished. When I saw the figure, I rushed to the building and something shook me. I could not believe what I saw. So basically, I saw a human footprints and then later on a cat paw prints on the dusty floor. This was a clear indication of a jinn presence that shape shifted to cats. An angry and loud voice, like that of an old man, commanded us to leave the building by saying, "Go away." Without wasting a second, we rushed away and confirmed it is a haunted location. So it is not a complete story with complete information, but yeah,
But where was
this.
this building again?
See, so the website is called as yourghoststories.com, and people, they submit their stories there. So I think this is maybe some paranormal activity or paranormal team or something, whatever it is called. They submitted the story, and most of the stories which I pick from the website is from India. So half information, but again, it's a mystery. But it's not in Pune for sure. As far as I know from the story, it's like a big land, and the owner is trying to build guest house there, but he can't because of a scary and angry jinn who's living in that under constructed two buildings. But the important part and the real reason why I picked the story is about the paranormal investigators seen that a human walking, and they seen the footprints also of a human, and then suddenly the footprints got converted into a cat paw. So do you think, as per your experience and whatever stories you heard, you feel and you think that Are jinns like they can shapeshift from humans to animals? What do you feel?
Maybe, maybe. I'm not sure because you remember last time when we were in Muscat, what was the name of the place we had gone to? You had narrated one jinn story where the jinn came as a cat or the cat was warning that girl.
Yes. Yeeti, Yeeti, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What was the name of the place?
Yeeti Beach.
Yeti. Yeah, Yeti Beach. So maybe it is possible.
It is, right?
Yeah, could be.
It's
Because
kind
I
of.
think jinns can take any shape or form.
And by the way, you're walking right now, correct?
Yes, I am. Maybe that's why I
Don't
sound a
look
little out of
behind.
breath.
Don't look behind.
There's nothing behind me. I'm in the city.
Are you like giving going like for evening walks right now, or you're going to someone's
This
house,
is
or you
night.
went somewhere?
No, this is my night walk.
Oh my God! So
Yeah,
you're
I just
so
had
busy in
dinner, then I'm
the.
coming down.
Okay. Oh, you're going to meet someone, is it?
No, man.
Hmm. That is also something scary. इतना रात को
Yeah.
कौन जाता है चल के ऐसा?
इतने रात में से अंधेरा मिलेगा
Hmm.
और अंधेरे में भूत मिलेगा. Acha, I'll take a leave for now.
Yes, please.
I will
Yes,
join
please.
back later if
Hmm.
you're still live. I will hear you narrate your stories.
No problem.
Okay?
Feel free to join in whenever you can.
All
Thanks for
right.
joining in.
My
See you.
pleasure.
Enjoy your walk.
Bye, Des. Bye, guys.
See you.
Honey
Bye bye.
Pasha, see you next time. Inshallah.
Yes.
Bye.
Chalo. See you. Bye. And that was Pri. See, learn from her. She was busy, but she still joined in to say hi, hello, how are you? Whatever she said, but it was a good conversation. So Nikki is saying most stories I have heard about jinns, the cat thing is very common. Is it? I really did not know about that. Trust me, because I have read couple of stories, but the jinn shape shifting is something which is creepy. Hani is saying she's a German. She likes to walk in the night. Oh my god. Okay, I thought you're talking about the jinn, but I assume Hani is talking about Priyanka. Anyways, moving forward, the link of the description. What am I saying? The link of the description. The link of this video is in my description. So click the link, and if you would like to join in and share your stories, feel free to join in and share your stories. I have 5 stories. Out of that 5, I have already narrated 2. So have 3. So if you want the stream to, go ahead for longer time, then people can join in and share their stories, and then I can also share the stories. And then I feel, yes, we have Nikki who has joined in. So Nikki, I am getting you in 3, 2, and 1.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are
Okay.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, I'm better. So I think so you have
Um,
been on my channel a couple of times. You have been on
uh,
Swapnil's channel as well.
oh yeah, I have been on Swapn's channel. I have told a few stories there, but here I'm always in the chat or just lurking around.
Yes. So, do you have a story for us tonight?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So, should I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this story revolves around my childhood best friend. I'm gonna shift in English and Hindi in between, okay?
No
That's fine.
problem. Yes,
So,
yes.
um, so I had known her since I was in third grade. So we had just moved into this new state, new school, and so I had known her. We were friends, but not so good friends. But then in 10th standard, we became like super close. And her dad was actually our school's accountancy teacher. So we became like super close in 10th standard, and then we both of us decided to take commerce in 11th standard. So we started going to each other's place like a lot more. And her father, he was very fond of me. He treated me better than his own daughter. But apparently, after we had just given our 12th exams, he passed away and due to kidney failure. So it was pretty hard on her. And then uh, just a day after he passed away, I had a dream. Uh, in my dream, I was in the school. I was sitting in my class, and then I knew that he has passed away. But I was sitting in school, and I look out of the window, and I see him walking towards his office. Like he had his own cabin because he was also the vice principal, and he was walking towards the cabin. And I look at him, and I was like, but he's dead. Why am I seeing him? Right? This is all
Hmm.
happening in my dream. But in my dream, he went through his whole day just like he used to when he was alive. I felt like kind of weird, but then I didn't want to tell her because she just lost her father. And अगर मैं उसको जाके बोलती कि सुन मुझे ये सपना आया तेरे पापा के बारे में, she would have been like, what? I just lost him. It's okay, whatever. Like, what are you trying to say, right? So I kept
Hmm.
it to myself. I didn't share it with her. And उसके बाद में जिस दिन फ्यूनरल था, फ्यूनरल नहीं, फ्यूनरल था तो शी हैड अ ड्रीम. शी टेल्स मी कि यार आई हैड अ ड्रीम कि my dad is outside our house. He's on his bike. He used to ride on a bike. उनके पास एक स्प्लेंडर था तो हमेशा स्प्लेंडर पे होता था. तो शी सेड कि he is outside और बाहर कोई लाइट नहीं चल रही है स्ट्रीट में. एंड वो उसको बार बार बोल रहे कि चल मेरे साथ चल, चल साथ चल. एंड शी इज स्केर्ड ऑफ डार्कनेस. उसको डर लगता है. तो शी वाज लाइक मुझे नहीं जाना. एंड he was not like riding, he was like pushing the bike, मतलब. And he's going into और ही ज़्यादा darkness, like it looked like a void as she has explained to me. And he kept like telling her कि तू साथ में चल, तू साथ में चल. And she told me that, and I was like kind of थोड़ा सा weirded out. So she's like, was it my father? Like actually, like was he saying goodbye? So I was like, I had a few questions. Ke, first of all, like as you have heard or seen in movies, right? When someone passes away, right? Someone dies, and when their soul is like passing over, so they walk towards the light.
Hmm.
Or if they're like, as far what I have understood, if they're walking into like complete darkness that looks like a void, that means they're either going to hell.
Oh
ये
my God.
मेरा conclusion था, right? And I was like,
Hmm.
and if he knows कि he is going to hell, why is he asking you? Why is he forcing you कि चल मेरे साथ चल, चल मेरे साथ चल? And she's like, हाँ, I don't know. तो ये हुआ. एंड देन सब फ्यूनरल वगैरह सब कुछ हो गया. सब जितने भी सेरेमनीज रिचुअल्स होते हैं हो गए. तो उनके यहाँ पे लाइक आफ्टर एवरीथिंग इज डन, they do deep cleaning. They have to
Deep
clean like,
cleaning.
yeah, deep cleaning of the whole house. Like they clean like
Uh-huh.
every single corner of the house. So when they cleaned the
Okay.
house in the storeroom, they found hair. Now I don't know how to explain it. It's like someone's braid has been cut from like the base, like a long braid.
Okay.
And they found that. And it's like it doesn't belong to anyone because none of them have like long hair or anything. And it's been like fully like full on braid, long black luscious hair. It's been cut off from the base. Now it was weird. And she is very superstitious. And they're like, someone has done black magic. I was like, हाँ ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. I didn't know what to say. It is super weird, but I don't want to feed into her, superstitions already. तो I'm like ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. तो apparently we went to school क्योंकि उनके पास अपना cabin था. So we went there, and we were supposed to get his stuff out from there. एंड हमारे स्कूल में जो दूसरी टीचर थी शी वॉज वेरी क्लोज टू हिम, तो शी हैड द की टू द ऑफिस. तो हम लोग गए अंदर एंड शी वॉज बीइंग सुपर रूड. सो लाइक जल्दी करो, वाई यू स्टैंडिंग देयर, वाई यू टेकिंग सो मच टाइम, जल्दी बाहर निकलो, ऐसे क्यों कर रहे हो, वैसे क्यों कर रहे हो. एंड आई वॉज गेटिंग पिस्ड एट दिस मोमेंट बिकॉज माई फ्रेंड वॉज शी वॉज clearly very overwhelmed, and she's like just looking around because her father used to be in the cabin all the time, right? So
Hmm.
at some point I got pissed, and then I asked her, I was like, are you okay, to my teacher. And she's like, yeah, I'm okay, तुम जल्दी करो, मुझे लॉक लगाना है यहाँ से, don't waste time. And I was like, you are acting weird because you were so close to him. He basically called her his sister. And my friend
Hmm.
used to call her Bua, not even like ma'am or anything. Bua bolti thi usko. And I was like, you are not consoling her, you are being so harsh. And just like after me being rude to her, she said, okay, okay, calm down. And I was like, what is it? Are you going to tell us what is happening? Why are you being like this? And then she tells ki apparently, since her father has died, like the sir has died, a few students and a few teachers have claimed that they have seen him just like doing his normal routine, like going to certain classes, like उनका
Hmm.
first period used to be like 11C में होता था, second period is in 12th D, right? So
Hmm.
he's students and teachers have claimed that they have seen him walking towards those classes at exact timing, and some have claimed that they have seen him sitting in the cabin. That's why जब उन्होंने new vice principal appoint किया, so that person didn't take the office. They're like, नहीं चाहिए. I'm not gonna take the office. So she's like, that's why we don't want anyone to stay there. I don't know what it is, but it's not like एक दो जने ने बोला, बहुत लोगों ने बोल दिया आके कि हमने
Hmm.
सर को देखा. So
Oh.
at that point, I was like, okay, should I tell her now? Because I had the exact same dream. So I went to her. I was like, "Oh, can I tell you something? Like when your dad passed away, so I had like this exact same dream that he's just doing his like work and Sara Puch. He's sitting in his cabin and all that." So she's like, apparently a lot of people told her that they saw the same dream. Whoever was like close to him,
Hmm.
he everyone saw him in their dreams. So I was like, oh, okay, fine. And then she's like, can I tell you something now? I was like, huh, boy. She's like, ever since he has passed away, so he used to leave the house around like 7 in the morning. She said,
Hmm.
every morning, like, I hear the door and the main gate open and close at exact time.
Oh shit.
And
Oh
I
my
was
god.
like, okay. And she's like, yeah, it's not like in the morning and even in the evening when he used to come back. Same time, I hear the doors open and close. I was like, oh, okay. And then she said, like, even when I'm cooking, right? So, Jabi, she used to cook, he would come and see what is she cooking. So, he would just,
Oh.
like, peek over. She's like, I get that feeling a lot. Ki, like, someone is peeking over and just looking at what I'm cooking. I was like, somewhat I was like trying to explain कि you are used to it इसीलिए हो रहा है, but then I was like I don't know what exactly क्या बोलूँगा इसको. And then we just started talking, and then she started talking about that dream also कि जो पहले उसे dream आया था. So I told her कि यार it can't be your father, right? It's I think you are just overthinking it because तेको वो hair वगैरह मिला है. तो
Hmm.
I'm basically overthinking. She's like, nahi. So apparently her nani is Kali Ma ke bhakt. So
Hmm.
she is like, how I don't know how to explain it. Like she prays way too much that she thinks like maybe she channels her in her body. Like she can see things. Like she can
Hmm.
tell you what's gonna happen or what is happening. Stuff like that. So she said when I talked to my nani said कि like तुम्हारे papa, he was very worried about you because so my friend has one sister, she is married, and her mom is a little bit toxic. She has some mental illnesses,
Hmm.
like she has bipolar disorder. So and she gets pretty toxic when she's in her manic state. So, like, she even gets like violent and all that. So, her Nani said ki your papa was very worried and he wanted you to get married. And he didn't want to leave you because he doesn't want you to live with your mother in with whatever she's going through, right? Like you're gonna suffer. And she's like, easily because he's so worried. That's why he's like staying back. He doesn't want to leave. And they're like, ठीक है. And then Nani told about like a few like pujas and all कि तुम ये पूजा करवाओ maybe शांति मिल जाएगा उनको. But सब कुछ किया, nothing really worked. And then थोड़े टाइम के बाद they decided कि they're gonna sell the house because it's just my friend and her mother in that house, and her sister lives in like another, like she lives near Chandigarh, and we are living like we live in Punjab, and
Hmm.
her nani they live in Himachal. So they were like कि ठीक है, let's just shift near Chandigarh ताकि it would be easier to reach both of them.
Correct. Yeah.
चंडीगढ़ से हिमाचल भी को पास है और मतलब सिस्टर भी उधर ही है. And
Hmm.
when they decided that they're gonna sell the house, now things started getting a bit rough in the house. Like वो जो छोटी मोटी चीजें थी ना वो like over exaggerated होने लग गई. Like now they're like चीजें गिर रही है,
Hmm.
or like now they can hear footsteps, like proper footsteps. So I know this one day my friend was just like saying ki, because they sleep in their parents' room and my friend is sleeping where her dad used to sleep. So like jokingly saying कि यार मुझे डर लगता है because I hear footsteps. He like my father's gonna yank my feet कि तू मेरे side मेरी जगह पे कैसे सो गई. And I was like, we were just like laughing about it, but she was pretty serious. कि उसको सच्ची में डर लग रहा था. But जब so this one day she fell like through stairs, like she fell, just पता नहीं कैसे she just collapsed, क्या हुआ, गिर गई. So I asked her, I was like, why are you so careless, what were you doing? Like she had a concussion. I was like, how can you be so careless, क्या हुआ? And she said, I wasn't even doing anything. She said I was standing near the stairs, I wasn't even walking, I was just standing.
Hmm.
And she said I felt like someone pushed me. I was like, अच्छा ठीक है. अब like but she was fine, इतना ज़्यादा भी कुछ नहीं हुआ. And we were like ठीक है कोई बात नहीं. And now what happened, 2-3 days later, her mother, she collapsed, and
Wow.
she broke her bone, like her arm. And I was like, what is happening? So I went to their place and I asked her. I was like, Auntie, what happened? Like, क्या हुआ? आप कैसे गिरे? How did you get hurt? And she said, पता नहीं, मैं खड़ी हुई थी, मुझे ऐसा लगा किसी ने मुझे धक्का दिया. And now I was like, what? This is getting creepy. Like, तो मैं उससे बात कर रही हूँ. My friend is like, क्यों, मतलब पापा is getting aggressive now. Like she is focused कि this is my father and he's getting aggressive. So I'm questioning her. I was like, if he's your dad and he was staying back just because he loves you, why is he trying to hurt you? I don't
Yeah, that's
understand
the
this.
main question. Yeah.
And then she's like, nahi, my dad was like really attached to the house. हमसे भी ज़्यादा वो घर से प्यार करते थे. It was
Hmm.
very close, like पता नहीं weird attachment था उनका घर को लेके. So now we are selling it. That's why he is
He
angry.
does not want
Yeah.
it to be sold. Yeah.
So I'm like, अच्छा ठीक है, okay, fine. And then this one day, I'm legit on a video call with her, and she is sitting on the bed. She's like, एक corner में ये बैठी है, दूसरे corner में आंटी बैठी है, and we were just like talking about like just random stuff, and she just like screamed. I was like, wait, what happened? And then she turned the camera on and she was like, can you see it? So जो bed का mattress था, it went down in the middle, like as if someone stands or sits, right? The mattress
Hmm.
goes down. That's what
Oh.
happened. And now these guys are so scared, like, and they're like, yeah, we are not even gonna wait to sell this house. We are moving out. Itna, they were getting freaked out. She bought a flat. They bought a flat in like 2 3 days, like a new flat, and it we were. I told my dad because obviously they don't have any like father figure in the house. So I told my dad, I was like, they're doing this, and my dad was also worried. They're like, "ये पैसे कहीं फंसा ना ले," because they are like rushing into it, and if, but they were like, "नहीं, हमें तो करना है, हमें तो करना है." Like, okay. So apparently, when all this is happening, so there was this one Pandit ji who lived in Himachal only. He doesn't take clients and all, but just because she he was her mother's classmate or something, like she knew him, so he got to know about it, and then he was like asking them कि तुम्हें घर में कोई दिखता है क्या, कोई अलग सा इंसान, like कोई औरत या आदमी टाइप, and she's like नहीं ऐसा कोई दिखता तो नहीं है, because according to her she's not seeing anyone like as such, right? Like
Hmm.
she's experiencing things but she's not seeing anyone as such. And then he did पता नहीं क्या कुछ किया, but at the end he said कि whatever is in your house is not your father.
I knew it. I
And
had that.
so apparently when her father passed away, someone did like some sort of black magic and they left like spirits in the house. So वो spirits का basic purpose was to destroy the family, like
Hmm.
to cause them as much damage as they can cause. But but their thing was they were pretending कि it's her father. So just
Hmm.
because she didn't get like alert नहीं हो जाए, because she didn't get alerted. She was like, huh, it's just my dad around, until
Hmm.
like it started like hurting her. And now that they are moving out, those spirits उनका like एक ही purpose था कि they have to like destroy this family, destroy these two people, cause them harm. So now they're moving out, so they are getting more restless, and they are trying to do whatever they can to either make you stay back or to hurt you. Because once they leave the house, like my friend and her mother leaves the house, those
Hmm.
spirits won't have any purpose anymore.
So have they sold
So
the place or they haven't?
um so they moved out, like, but then the same Pandit ji from Himachal, he came and then he told them to do like various pujas. When they were moving out, so they told them ki, so when you're leaving the house, don't take anything. Don't even take your clothes.
Hmm.
Like, if you take anything from the house, like any burden or anything,
Hmm.
the things can attach itself to
Self,
an
correct, yeah.
object, and then you you won't be able to get rid of it.
Hmm.
But so they moved out. They went to the new house. They haven't sold the house yet. But apparently, when they moved out, they both of them just like the mom and like my friend. They kept saying, "I don't know. I just want to go back home. I don't know what's pulling me towards the house." Like they're like dreaming of the house at this point.
Hmm.
Like something is pulling them towards the house. But yeah, but she got married and she is happy now. She's not there. Her mother still goes to that house and goes back to the flat like time to time. But they did a lot of pujas and all, and like sold everything in the house, like all the furniture, everything. They got rid of everything and got like new stuff. So
Hmm.
I don't know what's happening in the house right now, but yeah, that was it.
Quite creepy, man. Seriously, quite creepy story. But when you
Yeah.
told me about the hair itself, I understood that, this is something related to black
Yeah.
magic.
There was like some things in the house too. So like she used to tell me, but I never paid attention. Like beach mein, she would say like, um, रात को छत पे like footsteps का आवाज आता है. Like someone is on the terrace. Like आवाज आ रहा है. I was like, you're just being paranoid. ऐसा मत कर. You want to go check? Go check. But देख ले एक बार जाके. But when things started getting serious, like she got scared and she was like, "No, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there."
Hello? We can't hear you, Nikki. Welcome, Swati. Sorry, I could not welcome you. We were in between the story, but now we lost Nikki.
Hello, hello. Oh, sure, sure. Let Nikki finish.
I think so. It got disconnected. Did you get a chance to listen to her story?
No, I mean, I listened to, I think, 10 seconds. That's it.
Quite creepy and interesting story.
Is it too long or is it a short?
Yeah, it is a bit long. Maybe you can say 5 minutes.
Okay, then I'll wait for her to come back and continue when she does. We can continue now.
Yes. How are you? How's things? How was the week?
Good. So far, so good. The weekend also was quite restful.
I finished my last live last Tuesday, and then I thought, okay, I will sit now and I will research something what I can release as an episode and reels and this and that and all. And then from that day till today, I only was thinking I will research. I was researching, but I was just not getting something interesting. I got couple of stories.
Mm-hmm.
There was a story, I think so, about a US, no, Indian girl who was in US. I think so. Janvi was her name,
Oh
23 years
yes,
old.
yes, Kandula.
Yeah. So I was researching about that. So I was thinking, should I put the story or should I not? Because not a lot of information is there about it. Let's see. I researching few topics. I watched some couple of movies also, horror movies, which was absolutely boring. So I did not even give a review about that.
Actually, I have a movie that since that you've brought this up now, I was telling my friends also to watch it, but since we are live, might as well. So I think whoever is okay or doesn't mind old movies, I would suggest watch this movie called Lake Mungo. It's an old movie. It released in 2010. So they have not used a lot of VFX or um, a lot of editing. It's solely a story based kind of a movie, and it's not
Mm.
an all out horror in the sense it doesn't have any jump scares, but it's a very old favorite because I found it on a channel that talks about horror movies that have a cult following, and this movie has it. It's an Australian movie. You can watch it online. Lake Mungo.
Late Mungo.
No, not
Oh,
Lake, Lake.
Lake. Okay, Lake.
It's an
Okay.
actual place in Australia.
Oh, cha.
Yeah, so
Even I will watch it.
whoever is listening also should give it a shot because there are lots of conspiracy theories. After you watch it, you'll be confused.
Oh, that's interesting. I like such kind of movies or web series, which makes you research after watching it or while
Yeah,
watching it.
true, true.
Nikki saying, sorry, my phone got overheated and it stopped working. No worries, Nikki. Whenever you are okay, please come back because I have a lot of questions related to your story. I will not get sleep now. By the way, Swati Hani joined in. Okay, you can say I think so half an hour back. There was another person also who was there online. Her name is Priyanka. So we were having a conversation and he joined in. I got him inside the studio. I knew he would not say anything. But to creep me out, what he was doing was he was unmuting himself
Mm-hmm.
and I could hear myself, like an echo. And then again, he was muting his mic. So listening to my own voice, I actually got scared, to be honest. So I just muted himself and then he exited. And I think so he's not been there after that. I feel he himself has got scared.
I'm telling you, Hani is a supernatural presence.
Conspiracy theory. I think so we should make like a proper big movie out of Hani Pasha.
He has his own like presence.
But
He
you're
owns.
in Germany. I feel you should go and find him. Maybe catch him. You might find him.
He is our own supernatural presence in this show.
Yeah. Nikki
So
saying, have you watched Talk to Me? Actually, a lot
yes,
of people have told me to watch this movie.
I have,
Ha-
yes.
is it good? Because people are saying like it fucks with your mind. Is it something that nice?
Mm, the part about it which is nice is that it's a modern day movie, it's not a old movie. So they've brought in the phenomena of social media in that movie. So it's a proper Gen Z movie, like Instagram, social media, that whole that
Okay.
with the youngsters. So I like
Okay.
that part of the movie because most horror movies have not done that part yet. They've not used
Hmm.
the whole viral concept and a bunch of teenagers getting together and trying to go viral. So that is nice. The second thing is the embalmed hand itself,
Hmm.
because from the beginning of the movie they make it clear, like they're like usually how movies go is that they start with like a story, then they'll give you a backstory, then they'll get to the horror part. In this movie the first part itself is that, like, you start the movie itself with an embalmed hand, so you're like, okay,
Oh.
I already know that this is what it is.
So okay, then I think so I need to watch it because I wanted to watch it, but then I did not find it interesting. I did not watch the trailer. I just seen a poster or something.
It's
But
not great, but it's certainly different, like what Nikki is mentioning. The social media and the embalmed hand thing from the beginning.
I think so.
So
Let's
this
watch that.
today's session, we don't have a topic, right? It's same like last time.
Yeah, it's a free flow conversation. I narrated two stories. I still have two or three more stories.
Mm-hmm.
I'll narrate it eventually. You have anything specific you want to talk about, or you read something on the internet which you found interesting and you
Hmm.
want to share it?
Hmm.
I only found that story interesting, which was that Janvi from India who had gone to US.
But that is not a horror thing. She passed.
Yeah, but something thriller or crime or something. I read that articles as well, which interest me, like something related to dark content. So
Mm-mm.
yeah.
I actually have a question, I thought, but anyway, probably we can keep this as a topic for the next week.
Hmm.
So my suggestion for the next week would be witchcraft.
Yeah, we can.
Because
We
there's a lot
can.
that has been written about witchcraft. There are many books about it. There's lots of incidents about it. I'm sure you know about the Salem witch burning as well.
Hmm.
There's also a series online which you can watch about. I mean, it's a fictional series, of course, but the main
Hmm.
character is a witch. So you can watch that. And just in general, I thought that could be a topic.
Yes, we can. What you guys feel, whoever is watching, what do you feel? Let us know in the comments. But for sure, we have a topic. I feel, every week we should come up with a topic which will, keep the audience also interested.
Hmm. But have that being said, once everybody gives us feedback about whether we can do witchcraft as a topic or not, what is your
Hmm.
personal take on this? Like, do you think it's a good topic? Have you had any experiences with this topic?
Yes, please do let us know. But for sure, I'm going because I'm going to have this topic next week because I did not think about that, specifically in that. Nikki has joined in. I'll just bring her in because we have couple of questions. I have couple of questions.
Okay.
Hey, Nikki.
Hello. Hi.
So yeah, I have couple of questions before your phone gets heated again. So firstly, when you told me that there was hair which was found in the house,
Yeah.
I understood that something is related to black magic. And I also know that 95% of the black magic cases are done by someone, like, a close person to the family, either a family member or like
Uh,
a friend of, close friend or something.
uh, she at first, she and her mom suspected her. So, like her cousin. So,
Hmm.
but her cousin stay. He used to stay with them because he has
Okay.
lost his parents. So he used to stay with them only. So at
Hmm.
first they were suspecting him, like, oh, he's after the money, and after all he wants is gone. But apparently it wasn't him, and there was one more neighbor. They were very close to them, like they were somehow related, and
Hmm.
that women had done like, like the smaller things before, like leaving something in the house, like giving like sketchy things. But apparently it wasn't her cousin. It wasn't that lady. It was some other neighbors. So as I told, like her
Hmm.
mother is a bit,
Hmm.
I don't know. She can get very rude. She can start fighting with someone when she's in her manic episode. So
Oh,
she apparently had fought with other neighbors over something,
yeah.
and the fights were very aggressive. Like they have called
Hmm.
cops on each other and all that. So it was them who did it.
But like, does your friend have like a proper proof, or it's just an assumption?
I actually don't know. That's what she told me. She's like, yeah, it was those neighbors because that's what the Panditji and her nani told. Because her nani can apparently see things. I don't know how much to trust that because her
Hmm.
nani said like it was her father. So I don't know.
Yeah. See, it can be possible because there are people, See, I'm not saying that I believe in black magic, but I know that I've heard incidents, and that also I've heard from my friends and family, my close friends and family, who I've seen things going wrong in their house. And
Yeah.
in the country where I am living, Islam is the main religion, and I have seen some Muslim families, where they were, 1 week everything was fine, and cut
Yeah.
to after a week or something, everything has gone bad. Like they have lost a lot of money and this and that and all. And eventually we came to know that, like their chachi or mami only have done some
Yeah.
rituals on them. And there is a way to find out as well who has done the black magic, and you can reverse that
Yeah.
that spell on them as well. But I don't know too much information about it, but yeah, listening and talking to people, I get to know about it. But it is creepy. I hope the family is fine now. They don't
Yeah.
witness
Yeah.
anything now in the new house, right?
Yeah, they don't. Because she doesn't live there anymore. She is married and she's living with her husband that's in like different city.
Oh,
And I
okay.
haven't heard much from her mother. And she hasn't said anything about like anything. So I
Hmm.
don't know.
Quite interesting. Quite interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing the
No.
story. Do you have any more stories, or would you like to join in for the next time and share another story?
I'll join her next time.
Yeah, I feel your phone will get
um,
heated again.
I know. It doesn't usually happen. Like it has never happened. But after I was done telling the story, my phone was just like, your phone is
Maybe
overheated.
some negative source is trying to stop you to tell the story.
Oh,
You never
oh
know.
yeah, for sure. I actually have like personal stories, so tell next
Hmm.
time.
Yes, please do join in next time.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you. So it was quite interesting story what she told. Maybe when you get time, Swati, you can just rewind back after the live stream gets over and listen to it. There will be like a title which will be Nikki's horror story. So from there you'll able to listen to the story. Quite interesting. And are you there or you're not there because you're still on mute?
I'm there. I was waiting for Nikki to
Yeah,
be done.
quite interesting story. And yeah, next week we will discuss about witchcraft and XYZ. Nikki also sent a comment. I watch a lot of horror movies and I have reached a saturation point that I don't remember the names anymore. It's all just Musk, but Talk to Me was interesting for me and it's not slow at all. Yeah, even I have kind of reached. I have watched so many random horror movies, which I this either I put it on YouTube or either on Netflix or on Amazon. And first, I used to do that actually. Watch all the horror movies because I thought all the horror movies will be nice. But then eventually, I just started getting uh, not interested in such some horror movies. Then I started picking and selecting, very selective, because even the movie which released couple of months before, Insidious, I think so, the third part or fourth part,
I
I'm
did
not
the red
sure.
book. The red
Yeah,
book.
the Red Room. Did you watch it?
Yep, yep. Not very good.
Yeah, the first part was so nice. I actually went to a theater. I normally don't go for any like normal Bollywood movies or something. I only watch horror movies in a theater. So I went for that, and I'm watching. I thought, okay, now it is interval. Okay, like, oh, chalo, now after this something is going to happen. Then I realized the movie is only over. I said, अरे इसका ये क्या हो गया? Movie खत्म हो गया. Like it was incomplete. I felt the movie.
Yeah, and I also felt the previous parts, Insidious,
Hmm.
had better depth in terms of the story, and this was like, okay, just for the sake of it being there.
Maybe I think so. Even Hollywood does the same thing. Once a franchise is
Yeah,
hit or something, then they just make for the sake of making.
yeah, yeah. The acting was good because it's the same people, but the story didn't really have too much depth.
Hmm.
And coming back to the witchcraft thing, so any personal experience?
From me,
Yes, that you want to have this topic next week. I mean, you're okay to have this.
yeah, I'm okay to have it. I don't have anything personal this, but I'm not sure if this can be connected to witchcraft or something. But 3 years before, when I shifted in this place, so we were looking for a house help who could come and clean the house and XYZ, this that and all. So that guy was basically the guy is basically from Bangladesh. So what he did was that, I don't know how to tell you, but it's like a sprinkler, like a water sprinkler.
Mm-hmm.
But it was extremely old. It felt like it was some like 1947 car, like antique piece. And we knew him because a friend of mine, he was working there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he was working in a lot of places and he used to go here, there, and that was his job, like a house help. He used to work there, like a freelancing thing. He brought some sprinkler thing, this that and all, and he told, this keep आप रखो, ये अच्छा है, and this that. वो दूसरा सर ने वो उसको बाहर फेंक दिया, तो मैंने अपने घर पे लेके आया और फिर आपको दिया, this that and all. So I said, okay, no problem. But from that day till couple of months, every time, something, I don't know how to tell you, when I shifted in this apartment,
Mm-hmm.
it was a brand new apartment. Like, the walls were neat and clean, the tiles and the washroom, everything was fine. And before taking the place, we actually seen the apartment properly, if the lights and wires and bulbs, everything was fine. I remember, and the walls are completely white in color. After that, now I don't know if I'm connecting that, or if it is something, two different stories. But slowly I started realizing, that there are cracks closer to the end side of the wall, or in the kitchen there is a tile which there is a crack or something. And things started breaking in the house.
Hmm.
Like, if anything used to be like, if a cup or something used to be there, suddenly it used to fall, or something very weird, strange things used to happen. And then, my wife told that, this piece is just feeling odd. So let's just throw it. So we threw it in the dustbin. Okay, now the dustbin, like, we have like a big dustbin outside. We have a balcony, so weekly, then we take the garbage and then we throw it outside. But for the week, we keep it in the dustbin. So this guy comes, he cleans the house, and then he is telling me like, "Sir, आपने ये क्यों फेंका? Like, आप रखो ये." So now I did not wanted to say anything. So I said, okay, chalo, theek hai, rakho. Like, I did not wanted him to feel bad, because nicely he brought, and he brings other stuff as well. Like, if there is anything which he finds, if someone is leaving the country or something, and if we need like a table lamp, or a like a whatever, anything, he brings and he gives us. So I said, okay, we'll keep it there. We'll see. So it was outside now. So in the balcony, it was outside. From then till now, it is outside. And after that, like, things were normal. Like, I could not find any cracks or something. Things were not breaking, this, that, and all. But still, we could feel something is off, or like, something was not right. Now, he 3 months before, he had gone on vacation. He had gone on vacation for 2 months. So normally they work in the country for 2 years, and then after that, after 2 years, for 2 months, they go to their country and meet their family and all. So in that process, I actually went and I threw it out, and after that, things are fine. Like,
Hmm.
it's like nothing has broken and this, that, and all. But now I'm not sure if this is witchcraft or black magic, or that object was cursed, or this and that and all. I'm really not sure. Still confused. I still need answers.
Hmm.
What do you feel? You feel, is it something
Happened.
connected?
No, but you didn't give me the backstory of the object. Like, you didn't question him. Like, where did you get it from? Nothing.
No, he said that, like, someone was like, see, a lot of people leave the country as well. So when they vacate their flat, so all the unwanted furnitures and all, they either sell it or either they just throw it. So I think so. He was working in that house as well, and I think so. He got it from there. Maybe, they must have told him to throw it. Then he said, "Okay, yeah, acha hai." This, like, it's like a sprinkler thing. I don't know. I I don't know how to explain that as well. You have to just put water, and you have to just sprinkle water then everywhere. But it was very antique type. It didn't look new. It looked
Hmm.
very different. And I had not bothered that time, because he used to bring. It's not that only he brought that object. He brought a lot of things. So,
Okay.
but we found that object something fishy.
Mm-hmm. And the sign of this was what exactly? Like, did a lot of things happen that you came to this conclusion?
Mm, Not a lot, but I could sense, like, if I'm sitting. So now I'll tell you now. Now this is the wall. I don't know if you can see. This is
Hmm.
the wall. I'm sitting. I'm seeing the wall every day. It's white. Okay. Suddenly, after a couple of days, I'll see a crack in the wall, and there is no proper explanation, and we are just two people in the house. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not getting a proper answer. Then suddenly, if I am drinking water from the bottle, I'm putting my head on top, and then my eyes are on top. Then suddenly, on the corner of the wall, I'll see something strange, or a crack. So I started seeing a house which was perfect. When we entered the house, it started, uh, cracks started coming, things started breaking in the house. I don't know, because my wife also said that maybe you're overthinking, because you're doing so much of this horror thing. That is why you're just connecting it to that. I don't know, but I felt like something was off with that specific object. And I don't know now if, even if something was off, does this come in the category of witchcraft, or this is something else? Because I
There's
know
a
in.
difference, like because there are objects that are haunted because of there are many reasons to that. Like for example, there are objects that are haunted by people who had owned them, because a lot of times that these people were very attached to it, and when let's say they passed, they have not
Hmm.
completely passed, so they kind of like stuck to these objects. That is not witchcraft, that is just haunted. But then you also have witchcraft objects where they've used these objects and performed some ritual, and that is why these
uh,
objects bring a certain type of energy or luck or whatever.
Maybe, yeah. So witchcraft and black magic, are they connected, or they are two separate topics?
They're different because black magic is purely to destroy.
Hmm.
Like people who are practicing black magic, it is to destroy someone or cause harm or just do bad things in general. But witchcraft does is not just about doing bad things. There are different types of witches. Like there are these witches who cast spells and all of this just to, again, like with black magic, like they want to harm someone, or um, they want something to happen to someone which will benefit them. But there are
Hmm.
also several witchcraft rituals and witches that purely practice as healers. Like, they're there to help people, they're there to heal people. They use nature as a way to.
Like tarot card reading also comes under this category.
Yes. So it's not that witchcraft is connected to black magic. There are different types. The popular thing is that, oh, witches means black magic, but that's not true because there are very many versions of it.
Okay, then we can do this. Muskan is a hello, Muskan. Uh, Nikki is saying healers. Actually, my sister is also learning tarot card reading.
Yeah, because I also learned tarot.
Hmm.
So there are different ways in which you look at witches. Like for example, there are several YouTube channels. One which I follow is called the Green Witch, and there's one more called the Chaotic Aunt Witch. These
Hmm.
people use witchcraft, which is herbs, from the garden and then from
Hmm.
nature. They use herbs, they use spices, they use books. They read a lot, and they
Hmm.
practice spells and rituals that benefit them and other people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with, trying to harm someone. And there are, of course, these occult practitioners, like these witches and black magicians, who are there just to do practice the dark arts, basically.
So yeah, we can go in depth in the next episode. I will send you a message and I'll tell you, okay, I have researched this, and I'll talk about this, and then you have researched this, and we can uh, pick up few things, and then we can talk about this as well.
Yeah, like Nikki mentioned, American Horror Story, the Coven season. Yes, I've watched the Coven, and you can see
Hmm.
that in the Coven. So in the Coven, you have these powerful witches that do things for the good. Like they're there to help people and build a community. And there are also evil witches that exploit their powers.
Oh, being a horror fan, I'm ashamed because I have not watched this American Horror Story. That I think so. It's a series, right? A web series or something. A
It's a
lot of
series
people
that has like I think nearly 10
different.
seasons.
How many? 10.
I think almost 10, because I remember I took a very long time to finish it.
Yeah, a lot of people. Even Muskan had told me last time. You should watch this.
Yeah,
A
but
lot
you
of
don't have
people.
to watch all 10. Just watch a couple of maybe one or two seasons, and that you will get the idea.
Someone had told me to watch this web series on Netflix called as Black Mirror as well. We started watching it, but I don't know. Like in one
Black Mirror is
episode,
not exactly horror, though. Black Mirror is about
yeah,
technology gone wrong.
different episodes, different story, and something. There was some. Muskan is saying, yeah, 10 seasons. Yeah, I think so. Currently, actually, I am watching How to Get Away from a Murder. So I think so. I should change it
Hmm.
to American Horror Story. Is it available on Netflix? I'm not sure.
No, American Horror is not on Netflix. You have to watch it on some other platform.
Okay, let's see how it goes. But Nikki's story was really interesting tonight. I hope Nikki joins us next time as well and shares something more. Alex was there. I'm not sure if Alex is still there or he's gone to sleep. Hani, though, I'm not saying anything, use or no use, but it's just that he's there in the chats. That's more than enough for us, I feel. Maybe we'll have a separate live stream only for Hani where he can just come and not say anything, and just people will just be live. That's it.
So anyway, Hani, if you're listening, you know that this is the topic. So prepare accordingly for next week.
Is always prepared. No, Hani is always prepared. He is with his glass and a bottle, and ice and water, and he's ready to comment on anything and everything. Anyways, I have a story. Let me see what is the story I have. Uh, Swati, also you should check this website called as yourgostories.com. It's quite
Okay.
interesting. If you like to read, then people come and submit their stories all over the world, and it is categorized by country. So if you want to read some stories from Germany, you can read from India, and everyone comes and shares their story. So it's interesting. I have also got some stories from there. Let me see which is the story I can narrate to you. Okay, I have this one. Scary elevator incident. Now, see the stories, whatever I narrate, especially from the website, I'm not sure if they are true or they are not true, but I just want to narrate it and you just enjoy it as a horror fan only for entertainment. Do not think that it's 100% true because I don't know the source. But yeah, let me go and narrate the story. Scary elevator incident. This story is from the website called as yourghoststories.com. When people check with me about my scary experience, I always think of one unforgettable event from my childhood. It happened 20 years ago when my grandma passed away. In our culture, we gather as a family for 3 days after someone's death to remember and pray for them. My grandma passed away in Mumbai. She lived with my grandfather in a flat, and just a short distance away, where my uncle stayed with his family. His apartment was bigger and newly constructed. As per his wish, it was decided to keep the gathering at his place. So we all met at my uncle's new apartment, which was on the first floor of a building with a very few people. On the third day after my grandma passing, something strange happened during sunset. Me and my four cousins were playing at the nearby park when it started getting dark. Even though we were told to come home before it got dark, we continued playing. After a while, we realized that it's extremely dark and we need to rush home. I was the oldest at that time. I was 13 and the other kids were between 6 and 10 years old. We took the elevator in my uncle's building. Even though he lived on the first floor, we liked riding the elevator because it was something new to us in those days. It wasn't a modern elevator with automatic doors, but it had doors with grills that let us see each floor as we went up. My cousin suggested that we go to the seventh floor just for fun. We all agreed and laughed. I pressed the button from the top floor instead of our usual stop on the first floor. The building was mostly empty with only 3 or 4 other families staying besides my uncle's apartment. As soon as we passed the fourth floor, things got creepy. We heard a voice calling my 10-year-old brother by his name. The voice said, "Hey, where are you going? Don't you want to eat?" We heard the same words again when the elevator stopped on the 7th floor. We were scared, and it was completely dark because nobody was there on that floor. We thought maybe someone from our family knew we were in the elevator and wanted us to come back. The strange part was that we could not tell who was speaking, if it was a child or an adult, a man or a woman. We were not sure, but that someone had called my brother with those words. I decided that we should go back to the first floor and go into our house as fast as possible. Going down in the elevator felt creepy as the voice repeated a similar phrase. "Hey, where are you going? Don't go anyway. Come back." When we reached the ground floor, we ran out of the elevator and into a house where there were many guests. We asked everyone if they had called us using the elevator, but they did not believe and tried to calm us down. We tried to tell them, but it seemed like they think that what happened to us was not real. This incident is still vivid in all our memories, and we often talk about it when we get together. What made it even strange was that there was a family argument happening at the same time, and my parents almost left before finishing some rituals. We have various take on who could it be, but the voice sure gives us goosebumps until today. We assume that it was my grandma because my parents left because of an argument before the rituals got over. So we assume and we believe that the rituals were not completed by my parents, and we feel that the grandma was calling her kids. We really don't know what actually happened that afternoon, and that's the story what we wanted to share. A scary elevator incident. Hello.
Hmm. No, I'm also reflecting.
See, I don't see. I won't uh, say it is kind of true. I'm not sure, but then yeah, I do enjoy reading
That
such
stories are
stories.
real stories where you've read it from.
Sorry.
This is made up or real from where you read it from.
This is, see, like how we have YouTube streams where people come and share their stories. So it is the same thing, but it's a website. So even I have uploaded couple of stories. So anyone can go and upload their experience. And this website is basically for people who like to read. And what I'm doing is I'm reading the story and then I'm narrating it here. That's it. So now we don't know what actually happened with the family or what happened with the cousins that evening, but this is what they experience.
Hmm.
And sometimes, like how I told you about my experience about that object, the sprinkler, maybe I'm connecting two stories and trying to think if there is any paranormal side to this because I could not find any logical side. So maybe even they might be connecting two different dots. Maybe someone must have actually said that in that newly constructed building, and they assume that And anyways, they were kids, so I'm not sure what it can be. But has the story? How was the story? Like, did you enjoy it? Was it okay?
Interesting, yeah. It is interesting.
Something like this can happen, I feel like, at
Yeah,
least for
yeah,
kids. Yeah,
it can,
it
yeah.
can. It can happen.
And elevators are always very creepy.
And that also, the elevator what they are talking about is the one, the old ones which had that sliding gates.
The black one, yeah.
And yeah, and that time I remember, the door also used to not be, only two sliding gates used to be there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then when you're going, you can actually see, like, the first floor, second floor, if anyone is standing or something, you can actually see. And I always had this, I used to always get scared to take the elevator, especially in the night, because I've seen so many movies where the elevator gets stopped, and then you can't contact anyone, and this, that, and all. So I used to get scared a lot to take elevators. But now it's okay. Now it's fine. But let's assume, even if it is a true story, what would be your feedback? Would you believe in such thing, or would you say, okay, y'all are kids and maybe y'all are just overthinking?
Actually, I always found elevators very creepy, even as a child, especially those old ones. I actually don't have an issue with the new ones because there's nothing creepy about the new ones, the latest, I'm saying. But the
Hmm.
old ones with that whole, that banging gate, not gate, sorry, door. Like some
Hmm.
of these elevators bang the door and only then it moves. Mm,
Hmm.
and that design, I thought they were creepy in the sense I was not comfortable going alone in those elevators when it was dark.
Hmm.
In the daytime, I was not scared of it. In the night, yes. And I also lived in a, so I lived in an independent house, but the house opposite to me was an old apartment, and all my friends used to live there. So I used to take the elevator almost every day, several times a day, because my friends used to live on the higher floors. And as a child, you would keep meeting your friends. So I think every day, at least once, I used to go in that elevator, and I did not like it.
Shit,
I
creepy.
used to feel like, okay, something is going to happen any minute. And surprising you mentioned this, because other than me being creeped out about this, there was a friend I had who was, she was actually my grandfather's nurse. So my grandfather
Hmm.
had a nurse because he was very old and he had a lot of health problems. So we had to hire a nurse. So she would come from a particular hospital near my house and give him some injections and clean him up and everything, and then go back. So
Hmm.
when she would come, because it was after duty, she would bring her son as well. So I had become friends with the son, and this happened when I was very young. So I had
Hmm.
become friends with the son, and then we all used to go to that building, like I mentioned, opposite my house. So I introduced him to my friends also, and then we used to play while his mom worked on my grandfather, and this was happening for a while. I think maybe like a year, and then what happened? This kid, after a year, he stopped coming to my house. And I remember I asked the nurse, like, hey, what happened? He didn't come. I thought we'll all go cycling today or whatever, like those typical kid stuff. So she was like, no, he's not well. He'll come back later. And very soon after that, she quit as well. I think she was with us for like a year or two. And then when her son stopped coming, she quit very soon after that. And
Hmm.
I didn't know what happened. I was just like, okay, fine. That's life. As a
Hmm.
kid, don't ask questions. But like,
Hmm.
okay, a goner is a goner. And later, I remember that my parents were discussing this with someone else about the nurse, and I was like, "What happened? What happened? What are you guys talking about?" And then I found out that why the nurse quit was because her son, he had his own friends in the place where they lived in their locality. And
Hmm.
again, their locality also had a lot of old apartments. So he and his friend were apparently alone someday, and they were like playing in that apartment and going up and down in the lift. And his
Hmm.
friend dared him to put his hand outside the lift, like
Oh.
basically go and put your hand while the lift comes up and see what happens. And as a
Hmm.
child, of course, you don't realize that these things are dangerous. And he put his hand, and his hand got amputated.
Sad.
Yeah, that is why she was having a very difficult time, because they had to rush him to the hospital and they performed a surgery on his arm. And of course, it was a very scary incident because at that time, the
Hmm.
technology was not as advanced as now to perform an amputation quickly, save your arm, do everything. Everything was
Hmm.
too slow. So he lost his arm in that process, but thankfully he survived. But his arm was lost, and she had to take care of him, which is why she had quit. So these elevators are truly creepy.
Yeah, it is. Lot of stories are there. Kind of creepy.
Ever since that incident, I have been shit scared of them. And even though I'm never putting my arm out, mentally I always think about the nurse and her son, and I'm like, oh my god, save my arm, save myself.
So you don't take the elevator, or you do take it?
I don't go on the old ones anymore. Only
Ah,
the new ones. The old ones give me back these chills.
mm, creepy. What if you have to go in a emergency situation then?
Emergency is okay. Like, it's like, okay, push comes to shove, get in. But if there's a choice, I do not like these old ones. I always remember the nurse and her son incident because, it was so creepy.
Yeah, but this this phobias also, people who have this phobias, imagine what they might be going through. Like, if, for example, the guy who lost his arm, now for him to go in a elevator, especially that kind of elevator, he might have a phobia of, like, that might be running in his mind every time.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine how creepy it will be for that guy. We thinking only, we I'm also getting scared while you telling me the story. Just imagine how he must have gone through, or what he might be going through right now. But anyways, God bless him. Whatever he is doing right now, let's hope he is fine. Let's move ahead. You have any stories or something, or you would like to say, or you would like to talk about, or anything?
I'm done for this particular topic. Elevator
Hmm.
topic, I'm done.
Yeah, like, you have any story, a ghost story or something you want to narrate, or you want to anything else? Because I do have a story.
Mm.
Maybe towards the end, I will narrate it.
Mm. Sure. So I actually would continue on the same witchcraft topic, which is why I brought it up. Um,
Hmm.
I know quite a few stories in this topic, but I think it's better, for next time so that you can also prep. But
Hmm.
maybe I can give you a trailer into the topic.
Yeah.
A trailer is possible, but and I would keep the main stories for next time. So this whole black magic thing which you brought up, um,
Hmm.
there are people who practice this, the dark arts, who are interested in causing harm to others, and they do this whole inviting a demon into our world, that kind of thing. So the occult practice, harming
Hmm.
others, inviting demons, shitty people, in other words.
Hmm.
When I first heard about this, it was not actually through books and all of that. It was because of a family incident. That is when I found out that, oh wow, okay, these people actually exist. So before I had read about it on through books and movies, but never like, okay, in real life it's this was I thought, okay, this is just some rubbish that these movies keep spinning.
Hmm.
So my parents were the ones who told me about it, and I was like, oh wow, shitty people exist in this world. So one of my aunts, uh, she and her, I mean, one of ours isn't, of course, she's still my aunt, and we are still in touch. Um, so we are
Hmm.
from a very middle class family. As a family, I mean, everyone just has like a regular job and nothing special. What I mean is they're not from a business background or some generational wealth or any of that. Everyone is just a regular person from middle class background.
Hmm.
But my aunt and my aunt's husband, they wanted to become, better in the sense in terms of finances. They wanted to become richer and more affluent. So they were actively working on it. Like they were trying to start a business and other things back in the day, I'm saying, where most people were middle class, not like today.
Hmm.
So they were trying their hand. She and her husband, they were doing some different types of businesses and blah blah. With time, what happened? They started becoming richer. The businesses worked out for them, and they started becoming richer, and it became very obvious because, as you know, today it looks pretty easy when you. It's easy to fake things now, right? It's all about
Correct.
Instagram,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
some.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back in the day, that was not there. No, there was no social media. So
Hmm.
what you see is what you get. So it was harder to appear wealthy. So when someone appears wealthy, it's pretty obvious, like the big house and the big car and all of that. So she was getting there. They bought a bigger house, and I think they also were the first people to buy a car in my family and all those kind of things. So their relatives, extended family relatives, not mine, my uncle's side, uh, they started noticing this and they were like, okay, wow, this is like a thing. Like, they're actually actively growing as affluent, wealthier people. And they started becoming very envious, I guess. In my family's case, nobody was bothered. They were like, okay, good for you, enjoy. But in that other side family, they were very envious and jealous, like these typical desi types, that
Hmm.
you should not have what I don't have.
Hmm.
And one of the relatives over there went to an occult practitioner, a black magician, who was in Bangalore at the time. And she gave him certain things like hair and a piece of cloth which belonged to my aunt. And hair, I don't know how she got. Maybe when she visited them, she took it, and a piece of cloth and other things. And she gave it to this person, and she told this person that I want them to lose something valuable. And so this person performed a spell or did whatever he had to do with the objects that she gave him.
Hmm.
uh, and the way it had to work was that he creates like a doll. I think you must have seen this. They create a doll out of what you've given them, hair and fabric and
Hmm.
everything, and that doll has to be buried in that particular person's property.
Oh.
Only then it works. It has to be
Okay.
within the vicinity of where you live for it to have an impact. So he advised the relatives, when you visit them, put it in their property, like throw it in the garden or somewhere where they cannot see it. Somewhere in the storeroom or wherever. So this woman, when she visited them, because they used to obviously visit very often, she put it somewhere in the property. At that time, I don't know whether it was in the house, like she found a spot in the house to put it, since it's a very small doll, or whether she put it in the garden. Some spot she put it.
Hmm.
And after that, I think within a couple of months, my aunt delivered. She was pregnant at the time, and my aunt delivered, and the baby did not survive. Like the baby was born, but and they put it in the incubation center because he was born premature, and then 2 3 months later he passed away.
Oh shit. Hmm.
Yeah, and they were very distressed and, yeah, of course, sad and everything. And nobody suspected anything. It was just like, okay, this happens. And of course, back in the day, the technology was not such that it was easy to save a child. Now the technology is much more advanced, so they couldn't
Hmm.
do anything. They were like, okay, let it go. And they went back home. And I think it was my aunt that found the doll. And then she alerted everybody that I found this in my property. And then, of course, all the relatives were like, oh my God, this is a black magician thing. They've taken your sari and hair and some objects would belong to both of you, and this is what is formed, and that is why you've lost this child.
Oh God.
Yeah, and they also knew who it was because they had a feeling that it has to be one of these, because they knew that these people were jealous of them, and they accused them of it, saying that I know you did it and you are the only people who would do it, and they completely denied it. They were like, no way, why would we do such a thing? We don't even believe in this. I don't know where you got this doll from, etc., etc. And of course, nobody took any blame on their side, and they said this is all made up. Someone has done it, but it's not us. And of course, my aunt and uncle also were sad about the fact that their baby had passed, and now they don't. They know who it was, but there's no proof to kind of like accuse this person. So they just let it go. So they threw the doll away and kind of like let it go and started continued with life. And of course, my aunt got pregnant again, and my cousins were born, etc., and everything was fine. And my cousins are also fine, doing well in life. But what was the funny part of the story is how they got caught. Much much later on, after this incident, like years and years later, once my cousins were grown up and in college, some of them some working, blah blah. One of the relatives who actually did this, she got cancer. And when she got cancer, she was in the last stage, like she did chemotherapy and everything, and she was in her last stages. And my aunt and uncle, of course, visited her and everything to give her support. At that time, she told them she was the one who did it.
Oh God. The one who
Yeah.
got cancer.
Yes.
Oh shit.
That time she confessed. So she confessed and she told them that 20 years ago or whatever, 25 years ago, she was very jealous of their financial improvements. And
Hmm.
she was the one who collected the hair and the sari sample or whatever she had. And she went to this black magician. And it was not just her, it was her and one or two people. but those people are not willing to accept that it's them. But she told them the story that it was actually all three of them, and they were the ones who did it. And they went to this occult practitioner, and he's the one who said, put it in the property, and she did it. So she confessed, and she apologized to them, saying that, it was wrong, I should not have done this, and I feel guilty that the baby died, and my that was not my intention. I didn't want the baby to die. I just wanted that, maybe your wealth would be lost, not that somebody's life would go. But it didn't work out like that. And I have, because she was on her deathbed now, like I said, she had cancer and all of that. She was like, I
Mm.
have to tell you the truth, because I don't want to, die knowing that I didn't tell you the truth.
Shit, man, this is really disturbing.
It is, yeah.
It is really disturbing, and I even when Nikki had joined and she was telling her story, something similar to this black magic and all. I feel, most of the people who do this black magic and all, I keep repeating this, that it's done by someone, who's just close to you and they can't see you progressing in life.
Pretty much, yes. And there
It's
are
all
actual
about jealousy.
people like this, like they want to harm people. These people exist.
But like, what do you get? Like, I just want to know, what do you get in life by harming? And that also, okay, you do black magic on some other person, like some other country or something, or like a famous figure who you don't like, or a terrorist or something. You're doing it on your own people. Like, come on, man. Like, you don't have a heart or what? Like, why do you want to harm someone so much to that extent? And this story, what you told, like the kid dying and all, like, it's actually disturbing if you go to see.
I think their intention was not that the child, had to die. Their intention was about
Yeah,
health, but it backfired.
but then, no, once you go in the mess, then you can't, like, it will just take everything from you.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is the whole point of dark arts, right? You cannot bargain with it and say, "Oh, just do this, don't do that."
yeah,
When it's going to take something, it is going to take everything.
but I have a question. Like, see, now we have heard a lot of stories where, in terms of witchcraft or black magic, where there is someone has taken a hair or someone has made a doll and XYZ. There might be still a way where you don't need all this, where there might be some kind of people who are so powerful that, by just sitting and maybe with just a photo of the person can do something. I want to actually speak to someone and find out, like, how do you come to know that someone has done black magic on you? Like, for example, if you're not well, you know that, okay, your throat is hurting, and you have cold or something, and then you might fall sick and you might get fever. You have that symptoms. I want to know if there is a way to find out these things, because uh, actually I didn't wanted to tell this online, but I'll just tell it to everyone right now. There's a very close friend of mine. Okay, there is some problems happening. So my family person, okay, and I'll not name the person, and I'll not tell who's the person as well. My family person, they send the photographs of all the family members of my friend who's going through a lot of problems, and this family person send it to a person who does this, tarot card reading and XYZ, whatever, this witchcraft and all. So that person, that witchcraft person, seen the photo of the family and told that from the family, one person, someone has done something on that person only by seeing the photograph. So I'm not sure, like, if this is even true. Can you actually only see a person's photograph and come to know that someone has done witchcraft or black magic on that person? I don't know, because it's a very vast topic, and I don't have any information. And actually, I need your people's advice. Nikki is saying that happened. I've heard of instance that black magic has been done by just a picture. Yeah, even I have heard, Nikki, a lot. So what do you feel? I also have heard that you don't need all this hair and this and that and all. What is your?
I think for occult practices, they need something from you to, be sure that you are the target. So maybe
Hmm.
it could be that. That's why they're looking for something from you, like your hair or cloth or whatever. Can be
Hmm.
anything because the target is you. So maybe that is why they need it, because they need to put you in the center of that ritual.
Hmm. Okay, but then also now I'm not sure if you know,
Sure. Yeah,
if you
picture also.
I'm not sure if you know that this paranormal investigator Jay Alani,
Yeah, yeah.
he's so he had come on my channel and I was talking to him. So off the off the records, I was just having a conversation with him. So he told me once that he went to a particular place, and these people are like actually marketing in the city that come to us and we'll do black magic, something like that. We can do black magic, this that. So he just goes to investigate and tries to debunk things, and also he goes and he address himself as someone else, like I'm Vijay Sharma or something, and he gives this person to do black magic on Jay Alani, which is himself. So he says that I am giving you 10,000 rupees, this, that, and all. I wanted to do black magic on Jay Alani. So that guy asked him, what is his age and blah blah blah. So he gives his all information, and to date he's fine. There is no black magic done on him, this, that, and all. So he was telling me that that this is all just money making. They don't do anything, this, that, and all. So there are so many things which are still unanswered, and I want to believe in such kind of things, but it's difficult for me. But I know it does exist. I know it. I can strongly feel it because I have something personal where uh, I told you, right? My sister is also practicing, not practicing, learning, you can say, learning tarot card reading and this, that, and all.
Mm-hmm.
So in the middle, she fell sick, completely sick, and before that, 1 week before that, she had started taking few people and reading their cards and telling them this. She was just practicing, and then she felt so sick that it affected her mentally, physically, everything, this, that, and all. Then I was just reading about all these things, how it affects you, this, that, and all. And I got to know that even if you are doing tarot card reading for someone, even you pull in lot of energy. Now it can be negative and positive, it can be regardless of whatever, but it takes a toll on you as well, because you're pulling a lot of energy to tell someone what they want to know, or what their future is going to be, or whatever it is. So it had taken a toll on my sister as well, where she had her energy was drained. So she was
Mm.
telling me about it.
No,
I think so.
that's
You also
that's
practice.
yeah, I
You
do. I do. Hello?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Maybe.
do, but I can understand what she's saying, because you also have to give in order you have to give in order to be able to give that reading accurately. So when you're reading for someone, or you're understanding the cards, or you're trying
Hmm.
to sense a certain energy, you have to give your own energy. You're not just trying to pull. You have to like put in your own self there and be like, okay, what am I able to understand from this card? What am I able to sense from this person sitting in front of me? So
Hmm.
I get that bit. Your energy also has to contribute.
Hmm.
It's very
Maybe.
similar to therapy, right? If you're a therapist and you're
Correct.
listening
Yeah.
to someone's problems, you can't just be sitting like on log and be like, "Ha, batao," and I'll just go to sit here like on log. You
Hmm.
also have to contribute, right? You have to put yourself in that person's place, ask the right questions, uh, give that person that impression that you're here for them, you're here to listen, and that
Hmm.
also requires energy from your end. So it's the same
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is also there. Like, if you keep, it has happened to me also. Like, a lot of my friends keep coming and telling about their sad stories and this, that, and all. And then it
Mhm.
drains, the opposite person as well, because a lot of negative energy is passing on. So it
Yeah.
happens. Nikki is
In
saying
order
that,
to help someone heal, you also have to kind of like
hmm,
do the healing bit.
yeah, 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 that is also there. So Nikki is saying, I think a lot of this people are, yeah, scammers. Yeah, there are a lot. Actually, scammers, and there are some who are legit. Yeah, in every industry, either it's a magician, or either it is a teacher, a musician, or a tarot card reader, or a priest. There are genuine ones, and there are some scammers as well who just do it for money.
Mm.
And it's very hard to tell who is legit, like who is actually genuine. And then, at least for me, I doubt a lot in terms of uh, when such people come. By the way, you're practicing how to read this, right, tarot. I
Yeah.
want you to tell me, when will I reach 10,000 subscribers? I'm telling everyone to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. They are not subscribing. What to do now? You tell me.
That
Which
is
card
not how tarot
should I
works.
pull? Which card should I pull that these people will subscribe? सब्सक्राइब भी नहीं करते ये लोग, अभी क्या बोलने का अभी शे.
Hmm. Tarot is unfortunately not a lottery system.
Actually, I had the early stages of my YouTube when I started. I used to do every episode different topics as to pick, but eventually people started enjoying horror, so I kept horror as well. But I had done an episode with a tarot card reader, quite
Oh,
interesting.
nice. Okay. Your sister?
No, 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 no. It's I used to invite people, whoever I used to find on social media. That time my sister was not doing it. She started off lately. She started.
Okay, okay. And your sister is practicing this in Middle East or in Goa?
Middle East, Middle East.
But if she's in Middle East, I'm sure there are many people who are practitioners because in Middle Eastern cultures, they have a lot of tarot card readers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's here only. The same country I live in.
Mm.
Nikki has joined in. I think so. She has to say something.
Okay, so about those practitioners, right? So,
Hmm.
as far I know a few people who are like not practicing black magic, but somewhat witchcraft things. So,
Hmm.
as far as what I've learned, the legit people, right? They won't ask you for a big sum of money
Hmm.
Mm.
because I personally know someone's father who helps people out, but he has to take some money from them. But he can,
Yeah, for
but
the
it's up
service.
to
What?
it's up to the client. They can, he said like, I'm okay if you give me 1 rupees. I'm okay if you give me 11 rupees. I cannot do it for free because for some reason he doesn't tell what reason it is.
Hmm.
But they don't give you a certain amount. Ki itna paisa, like give me 10,000 or give me 11,000.
Hmm.
They don't give you any specific amount. They're always like, कि or either it's like कि हाँ इतना खर्चा होगा, this is the ingredients I'm gonna use,
Hmm.
pay for that. And but what a lot of these practitioners, like you talked about Jayalani, कि हाँ he gave 10,000 rupees to someone. And will those kinds and the people who are advertising, sometimes there are ads on the TV, those are more likely
Scam.
scammers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are scammers. Yeah.
Definitely, because the whole point is to help people with a certain problem in their life or help them out with something or the other, but it's help at the end of the day. So, when you're starting to charge huge sums of money, then it's obvious that you're trying to target only certain people who are richer or people who can afford it. You're not genuinely trying to help anyone coming to you. So, that itself says a lot.
But don't you think witchcraft is against religion, though, for sure? but against the basic things as well, like, why do you want to do it? This is just a question.
What, which kind of witchcraft?
Witchcraft.
Like what, tarot?
Anything,
I mean, it's not connected to religion. Like, for example, if you're a tarot reader, you're just speaking the language of the cards. You're not adding your own spin to it, saying, "Hey, I think you should do this. I think you should do that." You're just speaking what the cards say. That's
But see,
all.
it's not predicting your future. That is what I know. But
Yeah.
when I had an episode with the tarot card reader, she said that when we pick cards, we are telling you that maybe if you do this, it will help you. Like, for example, like if you want to start a new business or something, she said that, okay, I can tell you if this business will give you it will give you success or it will not give you success. She was telling me that, but she also told me that after every 7 days, something she explained to me, like the stars and the moons keep changing, and so your destiny also, or the success ratio or whatever, changes after every 7 days. So I'm not sure exactly, I have not got in depth, but do you know about this since you're reading?
I think it depends. Every person, every reader is different, and the way they learn is different. In my case, whatever I have learned on my own, because I'm not learning from someone, and but I practice with others. Like there's a group in where I stay in Germany, where
Hmm.
women come together, whoever are tarot readers, and we just practice. And what we believe is pretty similar. The three, four of us that come together, that
Hmm.
we don't add our own spin on things, in the sense that we don't come up with our own logic, like, yeah, it must be this, you should do that. Whatever the cards say, we will give you the meaning of the card, and we can lay out the options for you. Like, see, this is what the card says, and we believe that this may be what it's trying to tell you. The rest is up to you. Coming to the destiny aspect, which you say that every 7 days it changes, etc., etc., that I cannot comment on, because I have not read about this. It's more, I only tell people that what is in your destiny, like, what is already pre-written,
Hmm.
that cannot be changed. I cannot change that for you, or no card can change that for you, or that cannot work. Like, for example, if you're destined to have an accident, or you're destined to win the lottery, that cannot be changed just by cards or practicing some pujas or going to church or the mosque.
So
So
if I'm destined to have 1 million subscribers, means no one can stop me. I'm going to get.
yeah,
Correct?
that's already
Ah,
pre-written, in the sense that yes, you are going to achieve it.
I can sleep in peace tonight then.
So no one can change the destiny aspects, but
Hmm.
you can work on the other things. Like, for example, there are, as a human, you will always have things that are fluctuating, like what you mentioned. Like every week something or the other will keep going on in your life, at work or your personal life or family or whatever.
Hmm.
That will keep on changing, and what the cards tell you is about that. Okay, you can expect good things coming along in this phase of your life, or
Hmm.
this is going to be a challenge, this phase of your life will be a challenge, and you kind of have to work around this. Or you're going to, some bad news is going to come your way, so be prepared. So those kind of things is what the card does, but not things like trying to change your destiny.
Ah, okay. Okay. Understood. Yeah, even she kind of explained me in that way as well. What about Nikki? Have you have any experience in tarot, or have you done tarot reading? What is
Oh
your say on that?
no, not tarot reading, but I mean, I haven't done it personally, but I think I've just visited once. But
Hmm.
I feel like it's not about they're telling you what to do. It's more about guidance, like
Hmm.
as what sorry.
Yeah. It makes more
Uh
sense. Yeah, guidance is much better word. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
I so apparently recently so I don't really live in India. I live in Canada, but I've come back. So
Hmm.
I had been facing a lot of troubles, like a lot of problems in my life. But I don't tell anyone, not even my family, like, there's like some stuff going on. But apparently, so there's this like heritage restaurant type thing in my city,
Mm,
like back in India. And I visited with my brother, his friend, and my brother's wife. And so we went, and there was this like hand reader, whatever astrologer person there.
palm reader, yeah.
And yeah, so he was telling, so he's doing it for free. He's not
Mm,
like taking money. And so at first, my brother like showed his hand, and he said like your life, your destiny has changed since 4th of May. And I just looked at my brother because he got married on 5th May.
my
And
God.
I was like, oh wow. And he was like, yeah, you're not destined to stay in India. You're gonna go to some other country. And he is apparently moving to Australia in a few months. I was like, oh, okay. And then
My God.
my brother's friend, he came, and he didn't say anything bad to him, like nothing bad. He's just like, your life is gonna be so good. And my brother's friend, he's like, yeah, you're also not meant to stay in India. What are you doing here? Like, you'll be coming to India, but you just be here for fun,
Hmm.
and you're gonna just do good things. You're gonna be super rich and everything. And I was like, okay, cool. And so when I showed my hand, he said, at first he was like, oh, you don't take bullshit from anyone. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. So I was like, okay. And I thought that was very generic, right? And then this guy said, you should leave a few of your friends. I was like, oh, what do you mean? I was like taken aback. And then he's like, no, like you need to get rid of a few of your friends. I was like, huh, okay. And then he started saying, then he just like, show me your hand again, give me your date of birth. Like, not the year, just like what month, what date. I was like, okay, this. And then he like waited for 2 minutes, and then he said, uh so someone has like done something, like some witchcraft on you.
Whoa.
And they did it about 10 years ago. And I didn't tell him my exact age. He was like, they did it like about 10 years ago, so you will be like 13 back then. You were young and you didn't notice. It's gonna affect your school, it's gonna affect your studies, it's gonna affect like every single aspect of your life. It's like you were young, so you didn't even notice it. But now, as you're getting older, you are seeing a lot of problems coming in your way, your health, your studies, money, everything.
Oh God.
And I was just like looking at him, like,
Hmm. Again, Nikki's phone got heated up, I think so. Hello. This is, I always get scared when someone is telling something interesting and then they just get disconnected. Nikki, we can't hear you if you're there. Oh, our phone got heated up again. But Swati, there is something which I would like to tell you, Nikki, and whoever is listening. I'm not sure if you know this magician. His name is Karan Singh Magic. His YouTube channel name is, his name is Karan Singh. So he was on a podcast where he was just talking about few things about magic and this and that and all, and he told something very interesting. So now the kind of magic what he does is basically reading your mind. He will try to open your iPhone by putting in the
Yep.
password, and he will tell you your bank account pin number, and he will try to read your mind and this that and all. So it is basically a practice where you need to practice a lot in terms of mastering this art. So I think so in Germany or Switzerland or somewhere in Europe, there is a school as well where people teach such kind of things. So Karan Singh had gone to Germany, I don't know where, which European country. He had gone, he studied, and he came back. So he was one day sitting in his room and he was, just chilling. Suddenly, and he's from Delhi. So suddenly, he hears the doorbell ring, and his grandmom was there that time. So he's in the room chilling, this, that, and all, and the grandma opens the door, and there are two guys who have come, and they said that, they immediately say by they immediately, as soon as you open the door, immediately they say that there is some danger what is going to happen in your life, and this, that, and all, and they will tell you some personal information about you, and these people are unknown. Okay, now the grandma has never seen these two guys, and now the grandma is worried because because these two strangers has said that, your son, and they have taken the son's name also, is in danger, blah blah blah, please let us in because we need to uh, tell you more information. So the grandma is worried now, so she thinks that they are genuine, and she calls them inside. And now these two guys are telling the grandma, this. So Karan Singh, he tries to, check like who has come. Now he goes and he sits there, and now these two of them are basically trying to tell Karan Singh also, something is wrong with your dad, and this is in the hospital, blah blah blah, this, that, and all. But after a while, Karan Singh understood that, they are basically not doing any tarot card or witchcraft or telling your future or whatever, but they're just basically reading your mind, and they're just telling you what you know. So it's basically just a trick what they are trying to do, and a lot of scam has been happening in uh, India, where people say that, I can tell you your future, and then they can say, I know when you were born, and this and that and all, and I have these people have never met that other person, but they're just reading. Because now obviously if I tell you to think about a number, okay, so you will be thinking about 7 7 7 7 7 7, and then these people who have trained in this art, they know how to read your mind with your expressions and this and that. And also, so he had said that, according to him, it's just scam. It's just a trick what people do, especially in terms of reading your mind. I'm not sure about other things, but yeah.
No, that's true. I've always believed that actually, because the whole mind reading concept makes no sense. How are you
Hmm.
able to read somebody's mind unless you're like some very highly gifted individual, you've got some special powers, etc. But that would be literally like a one in a million. But how is that possible that so many people are able to do it? That
Hmm.
shows that there is something more here, which is like either they're able to do a background search of you before you come and kind of figure out things, or they already have some techniques which they practice similar to how magicians practice.
Actually, yeah, it is a technique, because even to, I think so, in US or somewhere, or I think so in even in India, when they are questioning the terrorists or criminals or this, that, and all, there are such kind of people who come and they just sit and they tell you if this person is telling you the truth or if the person is telling you a lie.
Hmm.
Because you can record yourself also, and then you can come to know if the person is telling you the truth, because there are some expressions which we make when we are lying. Either we shake our hands or eyes and this, that, and all, and it's very minute. Only few people can notice that, or the camera can notice it. So there are some experts in that as well. But going back to Nikki, I think so her phone died again.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I switched devices now.
Yeah, but did you hear what did I tell you? What I was
Oh
telling?
no, no, I couldn't.
Yeah, I was telling about that there are some people who it's a trick of reading minds, but then they tell you that that I am some pandit or baba and blah blah blah, and your life is going to change and this, that, and also I've seen people who read the palm as well, and then they say that they will
Yeah.
just give you some information which you already know,
Yeah.
like
Very generic. It'll be very
It's a
generic.
trick. Yeah, very generic things.
Yeah, I don't know because I hadn't told anyone, right? And my brother and my brother's friend was there, and they were like, "Okay, he's just bullshitting at this point, because
Hmm.
तुझे क्या problem है? You're all good, like everything is good for you." Because I don't tell them anything, and
Hmm.
then he's like, "Oh, do you want to know more about it?" I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." So then he started telling me like, okay. Then he started telling me like, "Oh, do you want to know about the woman who did it?" I was like, okay. And like, yeah, she is short and she's kind of fat.
Hmm.
And then he's like, and then she has like a black, like mole or something on her face. I was like, okay. And he just kept giving me more details. Like, her name either starts from H, R, or S. No, J, R, or S. And then I was just like, huh, okay, whatever. Because I wasn't taking it seriously, right?
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, fine. Then he's like, yeah, I'm not asking you for money or anything, but that's all I can do for you. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I told my mom, and then we were just like, oh, this is what you told me. And mom was like, just, I don't know, like, don't trust these people. I was like, huh, take it, nahi karte. And then I just met this other person. I have known her for a long time, and I told her, I was like, oh, I went there, and this is what the person, like the Baba told me, that someone has done like some kind of black magic on her. She's like, you didn't need to go to some Baba to tell you that. I could tell you that. I was like, excuse me, what? Why are you saying
Hmm.
that? And she was like, no, like seeing like how sick you get out of nowhere and like the stuff that happens to you, it is pretty clear. And I was like, okay. Then I started telling her, I was like, they gave me like three alphabets and like this is how the person looks. And out of nowhere, she took like a woman's name, who was our teacher, like, and she was like, "Oh, it might be like Anjani ma'am," and I was like, "That makes no fucking sense, okay?
Hmm.
Like, her name doesn't start from any of the alphabets." And she doesn't even know me. Why would she, like, she taught us for like a few months. Why would she do anything to me? Like, what have I ever done to her? And later I went to their place, and so her mother's name starts from S, okay? And she's
Hmm.
short, and
See
she's kind
that.
of fat. And
See,
then
that
she,
is what they do. Sorry to interrupt, but that is what
yeah,
these people do. They see, if they want, if they have so much power, then they can actually tell the person's name. But see, now half of the world is short and half of the world is fat.
I,
And half of the
I
people's
know,
names start from
but
H, B, and D, whatever.
I was so like weirded out, and then her mother had like a huge like as like mole thingy on her face, and I was like, what? What is this? It like played with my mind, and there's they go to like these babas and all a lot, and I was like, but I found it so weird because the moment I told her, she was like, yeah, I could have told you that. I was like, why are you saying it like that? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure like someone has done something on you. I was like, okay, shut up. But that whole thing, I don't know, it played on my mind for a long time.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's the main thing, not for you to. It will keep playing in your mind, because if someone tells you the person is short and fat and starting from this
yeah.
alphabet, this, that, and all. Half of the world is in that way only: short, fat, this, that, and all.
Yeah.
So
I
you don't
I
know.
somewhat I somewhat believed it because like something has had happened in her family, right?
Hmm.
And so I don't know. I'll tell you the whole story some other time, but so that thing has been over like years ago, but the thing like it's kind of like a curse that had been like coming back like recently, and
Hmm.
I could feel it. I was like shit is happening, right? I could observe, right? I was telling my friends, I was like, this is happening and that is happening, like, and then then my family, they went to some Baba, and so the Baba just like called him out. I was like, is there like these people who live in this area,
Hmm.
like like is there like some people who are from this area, can they come forward? And then they took the whole family's name and my grandpa's name, who's dead, right? It's like, oh, is are you from his family? Like, is that your, the father figure or the main person in the family? And then they
Hmm.
took, other people's name who had done the witchcraft thing on the family, and it was like already clear, like we already knew it that they had done it, but they
Oh.
explained the whole thing. And so that's why I somewhat like believe whatever was told to me, because that thing was like completely accurate.
Hmm. See, either two things. Either the person must have read your mind because it's already in your mind. So he must have just read your mind and he's just telling you what you know, or else it must have actually happened. There's
Yeah,
only two
I
things.
I don't know, but I'm not doing anything about it. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, but anyways, in our next live stream, we are going to talk more about witchcraft. So you can come and tell this story for the next live stream. And you know what is funny? When I actually started my YouTube thing, I used to do horror and many other topics, and then I just selected horror eventually. After a while, my family, they assume that someone has done black magic on me because I'm only doing horror everywhere. So this do you think someone has done black magic on me? I don't think so. But
That's
that was quite funny. Like my mom kept saying someone has done black magic on you. I said, who will do black magic on me now? I don't talk to anyone in my family, so no one is bothered also. So yeah, there are so many things happening in this world. But yeah, next week, Swati, we
yes.
will go in depth about this thing. I will also research more about it so then we can share some more things. Nikki also can join in, and let's hope that many more people join in next week so we can talk about this. I think so for tonight we should end it because it's already 2 hours 27 seconds, 27 minutes, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 seconds right now. So thank you, Nikki, for joining
Thank
in
you.
and telling the story. The first story what you told was quite creepy. Swati and whoever is there, you all should go once the live stream gets over, go back and listen to Nikki's story. It is something interesting and creepy. And even Swati, the story what you shared also, that was also disturbing. Let's hope that we continue for the next live stream as well with witchcraft, black magic, and a lot more other stuff. So thank you, Nikki. Thank you,
Thank you.
Swati. Priyanka is saying it was fun today. Yes, Priyanka, it was indeed a fun live stream. And actually, I like more of this kind of live streams rather than only people coming and sharing their story. People should join in and share their story, but also some conversation like this, which makes it more interesting. So, Priyanka is saying can't wait for the next session. Yes, Priyanka, next week even you can join in. You can just be the part of the discussion. More people, more inputs, more conversation. Swati, you have anything to say?
Nope, I will be prepared for the next week with all my witchcraft stories since I actually have quite a few.
Yes, even I will research something. And in terms of timing, I had kept it at 10:30 Indian Standard Time. Is it okay, or should we make it 11 o'clock, or should we make it early? I'm still confused because sometime when I keep it at 11 o'clock, there is more engagement. Sometime if I keep it at 10:30, like last week I kept it at 10:30, there was more engagement. But today when I started at 10:30, I think so at least for 20-30 minutes there was no one. I was just talking to myself. So I
I think
just get
start at 10:30 and see the and then go from there. We can do 10:30 to 11:30.
Hmm.
But if there's no response at 10:30 within the first 10 minutes, I think you should turn it off and come back at 11.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we can do something.
Yeah, come at 10:30. You see till 10:40 there's no response, turn it off, and we all join at 11.
Uh-huh. No worries.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you for
Thanks,
having me, Nikki.
everybody.
Nikki saying thank you. Thank you, Nikki, for joining in.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Priyanka is saying 11 p.m. please, like today. Priyanka, I did not start at 11 p.m. I started at 10:30. You join at I think so. Okay, what we'll do is Swati 10:45. I'll keep.
Yeah.
So 15 minutes, we'll just do hi, hello, this, that, and all. And 11 o'clock we'll start the discussion.
Yeah. Okay. See you
Okay.
guys next week
Yes. Thank
for a
you. Thank
witchy live
you.
session.
Yes. Yeah. See you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Good night. And that was another live stream which was really exciting for me. But right now, I need to run to the washroom because I can't wait. I've got a lot of pressure because Nikki and uh, Swati, they shared such creepy stories. I am scared right now because I'm alone tonight at my place. There is no one. I need to put all the lights on and then watch something, some funny this videos or something to just distract my mind because too much horror हो गया अभी 2 घंटा हो गया. It's just horror, horror, horror. Nikki saying goodbye, good night, and take care. Bye, Nikki. See you in my next live stream. So thank you guys for joining in. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't liked the stream, please like the stream, and I shall see you until next time. And always remember, someone somewhere is watching you. You're not alone. So happy haunting and see you. Ciao. Bye.